Itel is a brand that's been hugely successful across parts of Africa, and now it wants to replicate that success in India. The company only sells its products offline and is targeting users who'd rather have a retail experience than buy something they've never seen or touched before. Itel recently launched a range of budget smartphones in India with 18:9 screens, and we have the top model in that line, the Itel s42. The Itel s42 looks pretty good except for the obvious iPhone-inspired design of the main camera module, even though there's only a single lens. There's a metal plate across most of the back with plastic caps at the top and the bottom. The screen appears to have rounded corners, but this is only the design of the home screen wallpaper. One very noticeable feature is the selfie flash at the top of the front. Grip is pretty good, and this phone is easy to use even with one hand. The fingerprint reader is within reach. However, the rear does tend to get smudged very quickly. The power and volume buttons are on the right, and there's a tray on the left with spaces for 2 nano SIMs as well as a micro SD card. You get a micro USB port on the bottom and a 3.5mm audio socket on the top. Despite having symmetrical grills, there's only one speaker on this phone. On the inside, there's a quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 425 processor, which isn't the fastest at this price level, but the 3GB of RAM is relatively generous. There's also 16GB of storage, and the dedicated microSD slot is always good to have. The screen measures 5.65 inches diagonally and has a resolution of 720 by 1440. You get a 3000 mAh battery and 13 megapixel cameras both on the front as well as the rear. We're happy to see Android 8, that too with the most recent Android security patches. There are a few customizations such as gestures and shortcuts. Itel's parent company Transsion Holdings develops a lot of the software that's preloaded, but the Boomplay app is completely Africa-centric for now. Itel boasts of face recognition at this price level, but it's not very accurate, and we were able to wake the phone with our eyes closed as well as with half our face obscured. We wouldn't recommend that anyone uses this if they're concerned about security. The cameras are decent enough for a budget phone, but don't expect great results. Colors were vibrant, but details were weak. Fine textures didn't come out very well, and shots taken at night could be a little blurry. Photos will look fine on the phone screen, but they aren't very usable at full size. The front camera also takes decent shots that will work well for social media. Beautification is available and it's pretty aggressive. The front flash can be quite overpowering. Video is recorded at 720p by default, but goes up to 1080p for both cameras, and the quality is also just about okay. Battery life is decent, and you'll be able to go a whole day without worrying, even if you play games and stream video for a while. However, charging is quite slow. Overall, Itel has put up a fairly strong offering in the sub 10,000 rupee market. It goes up against the powerful Redmi 5 and has a weaker processor, but makes up for that with more current software, a dedicated microSD slot, and the front flash. Itel will have an advantage in the offline market, and the established brands now have one more competitor to watch out for. Itel will have an advantage in the offline market, and the established brands now have another big competitor to watch out for. Thanks for watching. This was our review of the Itel s42, and for more reviews and videos like this, visit us at gadgets360.com.